Bell Hooks talks about education as the practice of freedom, education that connects the will to know with the will to become. Becoming is a process. It's a lifelong journey starting and ending with our bodies. It's a journey shaped by the religious, ethnic and language communities we call home, and ways in which membership of these communities creates opportunities. It's a journey shaped by the schools we attended, the friends we made, the games we played, and the food we love. It's a journey shaped by what our embodied minds might imagine. These projects are pulled together by the body, a conviction that being and becoming, learning, is so much more than simply intellectual. It's our living, feeling, breathing bodies that make learning possible. We don't flourish by transcending the body. We flourish because of the body. Education involves our hearts and senses as well as our minds. Roshni's project highlights the pedagogical possibilities of our sense of sound. Rafilwe focuses on the physical creativity of the performing arts. Zodwa foregrounds culture and ethnicity to insist that African bodies and African ways of knowing matter. Viets explores how to support trainee teachers embrace transformatory pedagogies in their classrooms. And Blanche's project centres around repairing the damage to our hearts wrought by living and learning that's alienating and destructive.
You are listening to Social Work Kuluma Podcast. Siyakwamukela.
Voice, sound, and affect are all important role players in learning, yet often forgotten. Podcasts offer students a rich experience beyond the classroom. Close your eyes for a moment and listen. The words are from The Desiderata by Max Emmermann, written in 1927. I'm only going to read an excerpt. Be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, the universe is unfolding as it should. I will stop here. But I know that these words have given me courage when I listen, and I hear the voice of my late mother who taught this to me. Podcasts can teach students to foster a love for education, and in this TAO project, I created a series of social work education podcasts on a channel called Social Work Kuluma. In this channel, I speak with experts in the field on the areas of social work education and indigenous knowledge. This is an open education resource and is freely available on the Spotify and Iona platform. I hope that multilingualism is another feature that can be developed in this space.
In a room, we sit on the floor with our spirits choosing to be unafraid. In a room, we dream of what it means to teach and think and create from a decolonial space. In a room, we sit stiff with our old secrets of coloniality, covering up our promises of new ways of knowing, no longer what we need, but something that we can create anew. Artistic research assumes that the arts can create and convey message in various ways of knowing, such as sensory and the imaginary. As researchers at Tshwane University of Technology, we have created a dynamically and holistic experience of reflection, problem solving, and creativity. Here, we use the creative arts as vehicles of understanding, examining experiences, our people, and society. Our artistic inquiry is a performance, and we argue that it's a valid mode of knowledge and production, that it is a way of seeing and understanding the world, and it is a way of problematizing objective inquiry. And here we claim and assist ourselves in understanding how can we create knowledge that includes our human capacity to be social, emotional, and rational.
When the hashtag #FeesMustFall movements were calling for quality and decolonized education, among other things, In essence, they were calling for an engaged education, an education that recognizes that all societies have knowledge, an education that responds to societal challenges rather than exacerbates the challenges, an education that centers the human over and above throughputs, outputs, and profits, an education that does not separate the heart from the mind. To achieve the dream of the #FISMASFall movements that they were prepared to die for, we must realize that we have an obligation and responsibility to transform the curriculum. If we are to retain credibility and respect as the institutions of higher learning, we have to engage and collaborate with our communities to teach relevant content. This should be the role of education because in an African context, a thinker thinks from and for the community. A truly transformed university will therefore cease to be an ivory tower but exist in and with the community.
Decades after apartheid, social issues such as poverty, inequality, and racism continue to persist in South African schools. It is imperative that we, as initial teacher education, take action to address these issues. One of the most powerful ways to do so is through our teacher development programs. Transformative pedagogy involves incorporating social justice issues into the curriculum and empowering pre-service teachers to teach for a socially just cause. By acknowledging and addressing issues of diversity and inequality, classroom cultures are created that celebrates differences and encourages mutual respect amongst learners. As teacher educators, it is our responsibility to go beyond shaping the knowledge and teaching methodology of our pre-service teachers. Instead, we should prioritize instilling the values and attitudes in these up-and-coming educators that will enable them to spark socially just educational experiences at the school level. This project equipped pre-service teachers with an integrated knowledge base that enabled them to perform quality teaching duties with the values and norms of social justice and human rights in mind.
Community is the lifeblood of a civilization. There is no complete health in isolation. Learning too in isolation is incomplete and at best merely helpful. True learning utilizes people and harnesses the collective experience, even in disciplines like medicine. For in community lies strength of numbers to support the sick and the weak. In community somebody hears me, with louder voices to speak. In community lies public purpose to shield from the harshness of life, to offer and receive common friendship, to protect from the gun and the knife. In community we teach each other about science and art and sport. From this we gain our vitality, and through this our sickness is fought. In community others surround us. Their dreams, their love, and their faces encourage our hearts to prosper, our minds to accept other places. In community lies man's ambition. Without makes larger our fears. Together we make sense of being and bring joy and length to our years. My project takes its scientific, discipline-specific skill to the communities where it is most needed and can be most helpful. It aims to decentralize the notion of ivory-towered learning, and it aims to encourage and uplift communities through a people-centered and inclusive pedagogical approach.